Hey everybody, this is Dave McKeever. I'm in downtown Stockton visiting the Visit Stockton office, and I'm with the Chief Executive Officer, Wes Rhea. Thanks for having me here and hosting us.
Glad to be here.
The goal of the video today is just to spread the word about your organization and what you're doing, and I really love what you guys are doing because it's basically just bringing positivity to the city.
Right.
Everything that's coming out of the office here is good. But for those of folks in Stockton and elsewhere that don't know what Visit Stockton is, tell a little bit about what your organization does.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, the reality is we're kind of the chief cheerleaders for the city.
Mm-hmm.
But we're a destination marketing organization, so we're tasked with marketing and promoting the city of Stockton for leisure visitors, group business, corporate business, sports business, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But we really like to break it down a little differently. We really want to remind people that we're here to bring visitors to town, mm-hmm. get them to spend their money, and get them to go home. And that benefits every single resident in the city of Stockton.
Yeah.
So, every business benefits in some way or form, and they may not really understand how that touch point works, but we need people, every community needs people to come and spend money in their cities, because we all make decisions to spend our money elsewhere, right? We go to the outlet malls in the Bay Area, or we go up into the Gold Country or the foothills and spend our money.
Yeah.
So we need people to do the same exact thing, and you see communities who do it better, who get more visitation. They have nice roads, nice parks, libraries, a strong public safety element. That stuff is funded by visitors. And so we need the more visitors we get into our community, and the more visitors we have in Stockton, the more money we'll have to spend as residents for our quality of life. So we would like to remind folks of that. And the reality is we're not funded by the general fund. We do not get money from the city government, so we don't compete against libraries, parks, and public safety, which is a good thing. We actually have what they call a tourism business improvement district. So we're funded by an assessment on hotel guests. So anytime someone stays in a hotel, they pay, there's an addition to their bill, and we get that revenue there. So the better hotels do, the more revenue we have. And so they're basically our partners, they're our funding source. And so we don't have to worry about the nuances of city government funding, which is, again, I would love all money to go to public safety, parks, and libraries, and all those roads, and all those things too. So I'm glad we don't compete on that front there.
That's excellent. So what are some of the ways where you're getting the word out to folks outside of Stockton to come host events here or conferences, or what are some strategies that you guys are using?
Yeah, we do a lot, of course, on the leisure side. We do a lot on the digital and social side. And most of that is in our primary drive market. So, we have 10 million people within 100 miles here.
Wow.
And a lot of our visitation does come from the Bay Area and East Bay areas, and the Sacramento metro area. But, folks drive, and so we get a lot of day travel to Stockton because you can come from San Francisco, spend an entire day here, and still go home. LA is another strong market. Southern California is a strong market for us. Most of the travel that we see in Stockton does come within California. Folks aren't obviously coming here unless they're visiting friends and relatives from other markets outside of the state. So we do a lot of digital, of course, in that. We've really pulled away from print. We'll still do some here and there. But a lot of our marketing, the local people see, because we have a strong push on kind of local pride and image building. It's always been a core component of what we do. We have a belief that if we can't get our locals to love our city and know what there is to do and be passionate about it, then how are we going to convince a visitor? And locals, obviously, we have a challenge here still in town that locals love to bash themselves and their own city. I don't really understand why folks want to bash where they live, but they do. So. And a huge part of people who come to Stockton are visiting friends and relatives. And so if our locals have a negative attitude about our city, what happens when their friends and relatives come to visit?
Exactly.
What are they just saying, okay, thanks for coming to Stockton, let's go to San Francisco or let's go to Sacramento. How about let's show what Stockton has to offer? So we do a lot of that digital, and it bleeds into here. Yeah. When it comes to the group side, a lot of that is done by building relationships. So we have great relationships with NCAA, and a lot of the athletic organizations that bring events into to town. We go to trade shows across the country and meet with travel planners and decision makers about, consider Stockton as a place to bring your meeting or event. It's a very competitive world. I mean, just think about California and all the different places a meeting or a conference or a sporting event can happen. And so it's really competitive. And we are very proud that we consistently bring these large national events to Stockton, because it shows outside of our city limits, and what we hear from people is people like this, like coming to Stockton and like the Stockton experience. So
yeah, well, like you said, one of the reasons that I wanted to sit down with you is to hopefully change some people's self-talk of the city and get the positivity out there about what the images and that sort of thing, because there's a ton of great things happening in Stockton. And one of my favorite things about what they do is your events section on your website and the app. Whenever I'm looking for something to do, that's the place that I go to, the VisitStockton.com. It's just so easy to filter through and find things to do in Stockton. And I'm just surprised on how you guys stay on top of everything. How are you guys maintaining and keeping track of all the things that are going on?
It is not easy. We do like to brag that we do have the largest online events calendar in the region, and we put events on there from Lodi or Tracy and Manteca. We really look at countywide, but it's not. Our team works hard to keep that up to date. So obviously, some people submit their events, but I can tell you the events that are on there, majority are put in through our office. So we scan papers. We'll take pictures of posters we see downtown of an event, and we'll send it to our office manager who handles the events calendar. We'll call and follow up on people. We'll find events on Facebook. So we work hard to make sure we have that events calendar to be the best it is. Events drive a lot of business to Stockton. I mean, people come regionally for things like the Greek Festival or the County Fair or any myriad of ethnic or food festival. So events it's a good open door for people. Like if you're coming from the Bay Area and you have this impression of Stockton, and if you can come out for the Greek Festival and that's your first taste of Stockton, that's a positive thing. Yeah. It's an easy entry point because people don't necessarily, just want to come for a reason outside of an event all the time. So then they may say, we should go back and check out the Hagen Museum or bring our kids to the Children's Museum or something like that. So our events calendar is important, and it's important for our locals because
absolutely.
We've heard for a long time there's nothing to do in Stockton. And I can tell you, if you manage an events calendar, that will not be your thought process, because
there's multiple things happening at the same time.
All the time. And it just gets, every season has its own little nuances. While we get away from festivals and events in the wintertime, we pick up hockey and basketball, and so that elevates a lot of events and bringing people to town. So never nothing to do in this city.
If there's an organization out there, say they're putting on a car show or whatever it may be, how can they submit that event to get on your calendar?
If you go to our website and to the events page, there'll be a submit your event link right there. We do have some criteria just to make sure it has to be in the county. We don't do a lot of classes or, like if you're having a retail sale at your business, we don't do those. We really try to focus on community-wide events. But we also do a lot of nonprofit events. We have a core value within our organization to give back to the community, and one of the ways we do that is to support local nonprofit events, and one of the ways we do that is by submitting your event. So if you're doing a fundraiser, especially like we're about to get into crab feed season, we usually have the largest list of crab feeds.
So if you like crab, you know where to look.
This is the way to do it. We'll always have a blog about crab feeds too. So you just submit it through our website. It does go through an approval process because we want to make sure it has all the pertinent information.
Makes sense.
And has a great photo and all of that stuff to make your event shine on our website. And then many of those events end up on our weekly events email that we send out every Wednesday to 10,000 emails here in Stockton to get, and beyond. It's not all Stockton. But majority of it is residents who get that email because they want to know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I get the email. It's very helpful. One thing I want to touch on is if you could speak a little bit about the new app that you guys rolled out. There used to be a Stockton Savings Pass. Yep. And has that evolved into something
Two separate things. So Stockton Savings Pass is kind of a mobile app. It's a mobile platform, so you don't have to download anything from there. You can actually save an icon on your desktop. But the Savings Pass is really a free coupon book for Stockton.
There
So
you
over
go.
50 businesses on there, and they're telling you there's some great deals on there, especially all through Stockton, but a lot of food and drink and even
So how would they
beer.
find that?
So if you just go to
Savings Pass?
StocktonSavingsPass.com or Google Stockton coupon book, you'll see Stockton Savings Pass, and it's absolutely free. And you can get it. You can start saving today. There's some. I mean, our top one I think is Subway. I mean, we get a ton of redemptions there, but there are a lot of locally owned businesses on there, and any business can get on there. They just got to reach out to us if they want to make an offer. To get on the Stockton Savings Pass. And then recently with the relaunch and redesign of our website back in June, we launched a trip planner, and part of that is an app. And what's cool about the app is it integrates with our events calendar and it integrates with our attractions and things to do listing, but it does it in a really nice, slick mapping way. So if you really want to get to our events calendar quick and you don't have, you can always Google Stockton events and click on the link, or you can just open the app, boom, you've got our events, Stockton events. And then if you want to find things that are closest to you, it'll sort by what's closest to you. You can sort by type of event. So it just makes getting to our really awesome events calendar a lot easier.
Yeah, so mobile friendly. Awesome. Well, that's tons of great information. Do you have anything else to add about, being a water polo player, I know there's a very exciting event coming up. I grew up playing water polo and swimming and all that good stuff. So tell everybody about what's happening here in December.
Yeah, we're super excited that we will be hosting the NCAA Division I Men's National Water Polo Championship. So the National Championships of College Water Polo will be here in Stockton the first week of December. And then we actually are hosting the Women's in May of next year. So 2 National Championship Water Polo events, but we're super excited. We know that the California teams have a strong presence in water polo with UCLA and Stanford, among others. And so that's exciting because this will sell out. We're a smaller facility than Stanford, where it was hosted last year, and there's a lot of fans of water polo. They're very passionate about water polo. So I think we have around 900 seats. And we're only selling all session passes right now. I think they're $55, and you can get those if you Google water polo championships here in Stockton. But that's a big deal. And then it looks like. Water polo. We have also coming back next year is the National Baton-Twirling Championships. And we hosted those in 2014, and that group who has championships all over the country has decided to come back to Stockton. So they liked their visit so much in 2014, and that was a challenging time for us.
Where's that going to be, at the arena?
It's at the arena, yeah. So 600 or 700 baton twirlers from all over the country will convene on downtown Stockton.
That's interesting.
We're always hosting some cool sporting events here in town to bring people to spend their money and go home.
I know the water polo at that Pacific, it's going to be, the energy level of that tournament is going to be out. It's going to be crazy high, I think. And some of those collegiate players are actually Olympians too. So so you're going to get some top-notch water polo play.
And they just added a beautiful new scoreboard and video board at the Jelson Pool, and they're also adding seating and improving the outdoor entrance right now as we speak. All in preparation for that first week in December when the Water Polo Nationals come to Stockton.
That's awesome. All right, is anything else to add? I think we covered a lot of what their organization does. Visit Stockton. Check them out online. You can Google them. Also download the app, as well as the Stockton Savings Pass. A lot of great savings there with local businesses. And I really appreciate you showing the office here today and having me over.
No problem. Well, thanks for coming downtown, and hope to see you soon.
All right, Wes, thank you.
All right.